So I'm just going to trim the bottom of this plate. It's thrown quite thin, so I don't actually need to put in a foot ring. I would lose too much clay. So I'm just going to basically take off this corner where the most clay is, and I'm going to compress everything to make it really smooth because it has grog in it. So grog is pre-fired clay that will poke out as the rest of the clay shrinks around it if you don't compress it back into the body. So I'm going to be using a trimming tool, a bigger one and a smaller one, just to take quite a controlled corner off. And then I'm going to be using my metal rib tool and my rubber rib tool to get it nice and smooth. You can see there's a few little bits of batt, so I don't need to use clay to stick it down because it's such a wide surface. It will just pretty much stay where it is, and I'm not going to be going particularly fast or putting a lot of pressure on it. So this is basically, I've made sure that it's centered, which it is. You can see my hands aren't wobbling around, and I've got them either side of it. A little bit of pressure on the top. And the first thing I'm going to do is come to this side. Let me move you over. Whoops, lovely noise. And I'm just going to take off that corner. I'm going to skim off that bit of scrap clay that was on the top of the plate there. You can see that there's still a little bit on there, so I'm just going to level that off. And now I'm actually going to go in with, I'm going to take off that little bit of excess clay. You can see how textured this clay is and hear it. When you're trimming, you want the wheel to be doing the work. I'm just holding it in position. This hand is nice and still because it's anchored on my leg and on the splash pan. And so it's just holding the tool in the right position and letting the turn of the wheel take that clay off. The speed you will need to be going is medium. If it ever feels out of control, just slow it down. And that really should be probably enough clay. These are pretty much thrown almost to thickness because they don't obviously get moved around a lot. So I'm going to go in first with my metal rib tool. I'm curving it around with a fingertip behind, starting in the centre, and I'm just compressing that clay and moving outwards. You can see the difference, right, between the compressed bit of clay and the textured clay there. That's what we're looking for, is that nice smooth bit of clay, because you don't want your plate to be scratching your tabletop.